I'm Akira,
and you're watching
Dante's Boxing Nation.
That was good.
Gervonta Davis is the new face of boxing. Welcome to his era.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So the clips you guys are looking at right now, these are images of Oscar De La Hoya and Bernard Hopkins leaving the arena of the Gervonta Tank Davis-Ryan Garcia fight. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into this story. So one of the most dangerous weapons in the world is what? A microphone and a camera. Now, even though Oscar, he didn't say this on a microphone or camera, he said it on Twitter, but it's documented. He said Ryan Garcia is the new face of pay-per-view, like it or not. Gervonta only did 200K pay-per-view a few times without Ryan. With Ryan, fight generates 1 million plus pay-per-views. Now, before we get into Ryan Garcia's history of his pay-per-views that don't exist because he's never been on pay-per-view, I want to first break down and explain why Oscar is saying this in the first place. Don't fall for the bait, guys. Oscar De La Hoya is not dumb, and he knows basic math. Oscar himself, he doesn't believe anything that he's saying. He's doing damage control. He's trying to repair his relationship with his fighter, Ryan Garcia. Why? Because Oscar De La Hoya, he stood his fighter up at the post-fight press conference. All of the talking that Oscar De La Hoya did in that press conference the week of the fight, after Ryan gets knocked out, Oscar De La Hoya doesn't even bother to show up at the press conference. It came off as extremely disrespectful to Ryan Garcia. He received a lot of backlash from it, and because of that, he's now trying to say whatever he can say to make Ryan Garcia feel better about the situation. And he does that by telling the public that Ryan Garcia is the new face of pay-per-view. By the way, this is not the first time that Oscar De La Hoya, he says something about Ryan Garcia that Ryan didn't like, and Oscar De La Hoya, he had to come out and basically retract what he said. A while back, Oscar, he had a reporter that was basically trying to coach Oscar into saying that Ryan Garcia is the next big thing in the sport of boxing. He asked Oscar if Ryan Garcia was the next big star, and you could tell that what Oscar De La Hoya said completely surprised this reporter, because Oscar said no. He said, now Vergil Ortiz is the real deal. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and quote what else he said. He said, is he my best young fighter? No, maybe next to Vergil Ortiz. Vergil Ortiz is the real deal. Ryan is a very unique situation because of his social media following. The fact that he has so many followers is great, but it hasn't transcended over to boxing. It just hasn't. That's the bottom line. Now, obviously, Ryan Garcia, he wasn't too happy that Oscar De La Hoya said this. He even challenged Oscar De La Hoya to release him for free. Ryan, he responded by saying, I don't even want to talk about this stuff anymore. But Oscar, call me for real and stop going to the press. We haven't talked at all. I want the best fights. I'm 21. I have the drive to be even better, and I will continue to get better and fight the best fighters. If you don't believe in my talents, then you can release me so I can go elsewhere. Point blank, period. If you don't believe in me, then come to talk to me. Please, no more press and public bashing. If they don't think I'm the next world champ, if they don't think I'm the next big fighter in the world, prove it. Let me go. Just release me right now and let me be. Then Ryan Garcia, he said this on a different post. Why do you want to hold back somebody who's not going to be ish? Don't hold me back. Release me. If you don't think I'm the real deal because you're insinuating that I'm not really the real deal and not on that level yet, release me and I'll prove it to you. So after Ryan Garcia said all of that to Oscar De La Hoya, about 3 or 4 days later, Oscar De La Hoya, he came out and damn near retracted everything that he said. He starts saying Ryan Garcia is going to be the biggest thing, and I have faith in Ryan. I mean, he made it sound like Ryan Garcia was about to be the next Muhammad Ali. He was forced to do damage control back then, just like he was forced to do damage control last weekend when he stormed out of the arena, not even attending his fighter's press conference. And by the way, I believe Oscar De La Hoya was really upset because he had always told Ryan Garcia not to take this fight. Oscar had always made it very clear in previous interviews that he felt that Ryan Garcia would lose to Gervonta Tank Davis. So Oscar storming out of that arena was his way of telling Ryan Garcia, I told you so. I told you not to mess with that damn Tank.
Do you think he's ready for Tank? Do you think Ryan's ready for Tank?
No.
Oscar, my little boy.
Tank is a beast.
Oscar.
And by the way, since I just broke down Oscar De La Hoya's history of doing complete 180s with Ryan Garcia, he also did the same thing with Canelo Alvarez. He would say things that Canelo Alvarez didn't like when he was promoting him. And then when Canelo got pissed off, Oscar, he would go back to the press and he would start saying all of the things that he thinks that Canelo Alvarez and Canelo Alvarez fans wants to hear. But by that time, it was too late. The damage was already done because you cannot erase what you have already said on a microphone. Now let's talk about this whole Ryan Garcia is now the face of pay-per-view. See, this is what people have to understand. You can't just say something because you think it sounds good at the time without backing it up. Once Oscar says this, he puts a lot of pressure on himself and on Ryan Garcia. I say he puts pressure on himself because Ryan is a golden boy fighter, his company. So now that you tell people that Ryan Garcia is the new face of pay-per-view, that means Ryan Garcia's next fight should be on pay-per-view, and it should do better pay-per-view numbers than Gervonta Tank Davis's next fight, which will definitely be on pay-per-view. If we're going off of what Oscar just said, not only should Ryan Garcia do better pay-per-view numbers than Gervonta, he should do way better pay-per-view numbers than Gervonta. If the fight is even going to be on pay-per-view, you would think that he would have to really be fighting against a name for him to be fighting on pay-per-view. Remember, guys, Ryan has never fought on pay-per-view before the Gervonta Tank Davis fight, which is another reason why it makes no sense for Oscar De La Hoya to try to compare Gervonta's pay-per-view numbers to Ryan's when he's never been on pay-per-view. Oscar had already admitted that Ryan Garcia's big following on Instagram has not translated to boxing fans paying for tickets and seats. This is what I meant when I told you guys at the beginning of this video that Oscar De La Hoya is not dumb. He doesn't believe the things that he's saying. He's only saying it because of the backlash he received for not showing up at his own fighter's post-fight press conference. At the end of the day, there's no doubt about it. Ryan Garcia, he's still going to be involved in big fights, and he probably will end up being on pay-per-view one of these days. But it's completely ridiculous to compare him to Gervonta Tank Davis as the new face of pay-per-view. So since Oscar De La Hoya is electing to put all of this pressure on himself and Ryan Garcia, when it comes to all the reporters out there, your next question, or one of the main questions when you see him, should be, is Ryan Garcia's next fight going to be on pay-per-view? And are you predicting that Ryan Garcia will do better buys than Gervonta's next pay-per-view fight? I can't wait to see how Oscar answers that question. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, fever blisters, diabetic ulcers, this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called Elo Deki Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to elodeki.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram. Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com.